Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Fanboy and welcome to your daily dose of StarCraft 2 Brave Bronze Heroes Edition. Today's game is going to be between SticklerMac as our red Zerg. I almost said Protoss for no apparent reason. He is in the bottom left-hand corner of Dust Towers, and his opponent today is going to be Gringo as our blue Protoss. I love these names. These are awesome. Gringo is 95% of you know what that means. And SticklerMac, I'm assuming he has something against Max? Who knows? Just for all clarification, SticklerMac is somebody that followed me on Twitter about a week ago, probably. Week and a half ago. And he's like, hey, here's all my replays. Cast them if you want. And I was like, okay, cool. I will totally do that. And so that's what I'm doing. This is another Brave Bronze Heroes. I think this is episode 5, I want to say. So that's a thing. Mac is what I'm going to be calling him. Is going for basically a double expand with no pull and no gas. So I'm assuming he'll start gas and then start pull here fairly shortly. Gringo is making a second, and just like any good Protoss should, does have a gateway and does have a cyber core on the way. So he's now getting his second gas. Nothing unusual there. Mac is doing somewhat of a greedy build, as I would like to say, because going for 2 hatcheries right off the top of the bat is kind of risky. But he is up against a Protoss, and Protoss, they do have harassment, but their harassment in the very, very early game is extremely limited. Yeah, you could possibly get out an adapt or two and start trying to do a little bit of harassment, but I mean, it's not all that. Most of the time it's not really even worth it. Mac is getting speed. He does have his spawning pool up, and he has 3 queens in production, and they're at all 3 hatcheries, I would assume. There is an adept on the way and a robo facility. What is this going to be? Is this going to be Colossus? Is this going to be... oh, it's going to be Immortals. I mean, he's producing Immortals purely out of blind luck. Does Mac have a Roach Warren? He does not have a Roach Warren. So, I mean, Immortals are good against Queens. And he has a Sentry on the way as well. He has literally built every single unit that you can out of Gateway. He's doing 1-1-1-1 build, if that's even a thing. So, excuse me. He's only mining from 2 geysers. That Immortal is out, and he's getting another one. So, so we're gonna see what happens. Mac is kind of cautious. He is building spores at every single base. Ah, there you go. Roach Warren has just gone down. So those Immortals will actually be useful. Not anytime soon, of course, but they will be useful eventually. You have 2 Overlords. Wow. 2 Overlords pretty much in the same spot. One of them's going to be very, very smart, just like an Overlord. Blah, blah, blah. I have to work on that. To sit over all this debris and be semi-safe, as long as Gringo doesn't get any air-ins. I highly doubt he will. Gringo's going up to 3 Immortals. Wow. He only has 3 gateways is adding on 2 more, so I mean, with 2 bases, I would have gone for just 1 more, but that's just me. Hallucinating Phoenix does come out just to see what's going on, who's all up in his business. What does Mac have? Mac has, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 queens. So yeah, 6 queens for defense is very good. Is building a macro hatchery. And here comes Gringo. Gringo is just gonna be like, hey Zerg, I'm gonna beat the living crap out of you. So there are roaches here. Let's see. Army supply. Army supply is 54 to 38. So we're gonna see what exactly goes down. Remember why this attack is happening. There is a DT shrine going down. This war prison is going to be very good, but will this army just be completely surrounded? Where are you going, Roaches? Don't move! You have the army perfectly surrounded. Mac, why? All those roaches, all those poor little roaches, poor little defenseless little roaches. But these queens are holding up their own for the most part. I don't think they have much energy to transfuse, but so they're all going to most likely fall eventually. So, but the roaches from behind are still doing good, but those 2 roaches decided not to do pretty much anything whatsoever. So they did attack their own creep tumor for no apparent reason. War Prison is still alive, but roaches from pretty much every single angle. The immortal 3 immortals that were around is only down to 2. That immortal does have 17 kills, but they do need to focus it down their firepower to where they can keep getting rid of all these roaches. As long as Mac is able to spend his money, he should be able to hold off this attack. DTs are now in the game. There's 3 of them. 2 random zealots out of nowhere, but is there detection? There is an Overseer Morphine, and there are Spore Crawlers at every single base, but I mean, you could easily kill off some of these structures, but the DT in the main just goes directly for the queen. That DT's, I don't know who's gonna win. That queen just whacked that DT. More zealots, non-speed zealots, do take out one of the queens, so that's somewhat of a hassle. But DT does join in, but there is detection, hopefully, as long as that Overseer doesn't move completely out of the way. Mac held pretty decently too. If we look at no workers killed, and army supply right now is heavily favoring Mac, 56 to 16. Workers are also being favored, 48 to 36. So Mac right now is in a perfect lineup to take this game. And what in the world is Gringo doing? Gringo is deciding to expand way out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, literally out in the middle of nowhere. For no reason whatsoever. I'm assuming he had money issues? Hang on. I can do this. So, I don't know exactly how that happened. The money disappeared. So, here comes the final battle, if we can zoom out. These are charge lots now. Charge lots are pretty dang good at roaches, as long as the roaches are not being microed, and they're not really being microed all that well right now. But those zealots are very few in number at the moment. That pylon does finish, so that's a free pylon. So right now I'm assuming there's not a whole lot of money in the banks for Gringo, so he's just warping into Zealots. What? Okay, you have gas sitting right here, pal. What are you doing? He's only mining off 2 geysers. Okay, that was a huge mistake. Nice force fields, I will say that much. Blocks off that ramp. 3 force fields for 1 little tiny ramp is not the greatest idea in the entire world, but those Zealots are just going to be chewed apart from all the Roaches that are on the low ground. Zealots are going to be completely and utterly surrounded, so they're dead. So are, yeah, whatever those were. Lings do join in now, and this is pretty much game over for Gringo. Gringo does leave the game without a GG. What I did notice on the load up screen is this was from a Platinum tournament. One of the tournaments that you can log into Battle.net and join every hour, I think, or every hour and a half, or every half an hour. I don't remember which. But I'm glad that Blizzard is trying to integrate stuff that we've wanted in StarCraft forever. I mean, forever. Online tournaments was a thing for a lot of Blizzard games. Actually, now that I kind of think about it, Warcraft had automated tournaments. I played Warcraft back in the day quite a bit online. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave this video a thumbs up. And if you have any positive or negative feedback, please leave it down in my comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next game. Bye.